The Guardian, that's the next one. How MTN's inaction fueled Boko Haram insurgency by Buhari. 10,000 Nigerians killed. South Africa will return confiscated money, says Zuma. Reciprocator hospitality, Dogara tells him. So they also have their own version of that lead story and a picture of the unfortunate incident in the 5-story building collapse in Lekki, Lagos. But then this is at the bottom strip of the paper. Ocholi warned of end-time evils before death. Kinsmen allege foul play, Buhari to hold... burial to hold next week. Well, this, unfortunate story. Condolences pouring into the family. But then, what kind of questions does this raise for you?
I think all this whole suspicion thing started, 2 days ago, and Ocholi will be a major breadwinner in any family in Nigeria. So for you can expect tirades like this. But the redness in the eye will eventually clear off, and we will see properly. And the brother said something yesterday very instructive. He read certain posters. They should talk to some people, particularly how the driver was engaged by the Ministry of Labour. And the minister said only the PAMSEC could give that explanation. And I also read somewhere this morning that FRSC quizzed the driver on the sick bed. Which of the drivers now? Is it the one for the backup car? Because what we heard was that the one that drove the minister actually died after he was taken to the hospital. Too many things are shrouded in secrecy. But sometimes, please, why do countries usually hold our money? Why don't we get to hold? Why did what's it called, the South African president? Why did he not come with provision for us to have our money? Switzerland is holding our money. South Africa is holding our money. Why are we not holding anybody's money? Well,
the other question is, why do we take it there for them to hold? Why do we allow them to hold it? Well, look at this other this other story. SA Oruru pregnant for me, says Yunusa. Suspect pleads not guilty. Alleged abductor insists girl's mother aware of her love affair.
Well, as a father, I will be a bit emotional and subjective in my reaction to that. For a 14-year-old that was very lively to suddenly transform to motherhood overnight, no parent will feel good about it.
But was it overnight? If it brings in that angle, so his girl's mother was aware of her love affair.
Yes, you could have boys hanging around your girls, and you want to close eyes to certain things. Now, this is like an opener for parents. I'm not particular about any tribe now. I'm not trying to ethnicize this, but please, we should pay more attention to who and who mingle with our kids. This will surely go away, and they are going to be parents. So we should be looking at the post-pregnancy period now, because there have been promises we are going to rehabilitate. They are not going to rehabilitate just one person now. They are going to rehabilitate three persons. The father, they won't deny him the paternity of the child. Then they are also
unless DNA proves otherwise.
They are also going to rehabilitate the mother alongside the child. So for the Bayelsa State Governor and his Kano counterpart that promised to help, they should prepare to help 3 people. And if, why don't you just, I don't know. My sentiment is that maybe they allow everybody to grow together.
Let's see leadership. The next paper, Nigeria to end petrol imports in 18 months. Kachiku, Rabiu, Kraga, Adinroy, Kem Obi, 3 others emerged CEOs of 7 new NNPC divisions. 20 subdivisions also created. Reps fought corporations on bundling. Nigeria, Switzerland signed pacts over fresh $321 million Abacha loot. The late Ocholi's for burial next week. And look at this other one, 780 billion naira fine, Why we penalized MTN, this from President Muhammadu Buhari, confirms federal government's talks with telecom firm. Confiscated $9.3 million will be returned, says Zuma. And I want you to comment on this. NIMET predicts drought, less rainfall in 2016. Less rainfall.
Well, we can only pray. Drought shouldn't be added to the challenges we are facing in Nigeria now. And this is nature. We don't have any controversies. So if there is a prediction that we should prepare for harder times ahead, we can only beg God to intervene.
You've been feeling the heat, right?
Who doesn't in Nigeria today? Who doesn't? Everybody does, and we can only keep encouraging government, because if we criticize, we abuse, it doesn't change anything. But when we should put our feet down, that no. This importation of fuel, I think, because when this man came in with a lot of promises, I mean the GMD of NNPC, the Minister of State for Petroleum, and it was praised as the wonder key, the one that will turn things around. It should please turn things around. In 18 months, I'm sure Nigerians that have taken everything that come their way since 1960 can wait another 18 months.
Vanguard is next, and you find this one on the front page. EBO Oruru, Yunusa charged with criminal abduction. They have the story on page 12 for you. They also have a picture there of Yunusa being arraigned in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State capital. They also have another picture there, the survivor of Lekki building collapse. Mother, child, 16 others die as a 5-story building collapses in Lekki. They also have more pictures and the story for you on page 14. And at the bottom here, Buhari orders renegotiation of MTN's 780 billion naira fine. Well, it would seem that they're the only ones whom we've seen have their perspective so far. Do you think the president can do that?
Well, he's the CEO of Nigeria, and it's a matter of 2 CEOs now. So the CEO of Nigeria should sit down with the CEO of MTN. Yes, the money, the fine aspect is good, more money for Nigeria, but the security aspect is of higher importance than whatever we can get from it. You can't buy one life with all the billions in the vault of Bank of America.
Well, that's the perspective they're approaching that story from. Explains why telecoms provider was sanctioned. We're running on a net debt of over 21 billion naira in Nigeria. That's according to MTN. Zuma visits, promises to return confiscated arms and purchase funds. And they also find the story, Ocholes for burial next week. It's on page 8. And then here, tax evaders to face revenue courts in Lagos. Page 6 is where you find details.
I even love the way, I think it was, I don't want to mention this, but there was a particular newspaper that said cooks, domestic herbs, guards. I love that angle to that story.
To pay tax.
To pay tax. What I'm saying is, when you now say, okay, people that are struggling to survive, I'm not saying government should not generate revenue, but please let's be sensible with it. Let it have human face, as Babangida would say. Don't bring the ridiculous into the whole thing. Is it their madams that will pay for them, or how do you get into this? We shouldn't trivialize what should be a serious issue for heaven's sake.
You know, some people will argue that even abroad, where people earn by the hour, you know, where there's a minimum wage and you earn by the hour, people pay taxes.
They have a more organized society over there than here. When you pick all these girls and from one hand to the other, so who will be responsible? Some of them don't even get to touch that money. So where do you start with?
Very true.
Who do you hold responsible?
Well, of course, your Mr. and Mrs. is also there for you and Backpage Sports, but that will be it for the Vanguard.
Business Day. Kachiku unveils new NNPC 7-unit structure, 7 CEOs named. 21 venture companies with NSE listing on the card. And then the House of Assembly perspective, which we've seen in some of the other papers, they think that he's already going ahead with this one, and they think, wait a minute, what's going on?
But sorry, I remember that when this man came on board, some fat cards in the NNPC were sacked. I think it was to reduce they felt it was top heavy. Now we have 7 CEOs now. Is it not a way of bringing this? I mean, you are not returning the same set of people, but you are making it heavy again. I think they released about 5 senior guys there. Now we have about 7. And now everybody will still do business and put in the same coffer. So what are we talking about? Oh. They are tampering. Honest, my head is with the Kaduna State government on this matter. That the NNPC should be scrapped. I think that was his position when this government came on board. And my head is surely with him.
But you're not with the president?
No.
Who has okayed?
Where is the CEO of Nigeria? So we will always have the final say. But we also will have our own say in our own little way. The whole thing has gone so deep that they don't even know where to start from. And don't be surprised, in another 18 months, they will come with excuses, then we'll start restructuring again.
Well, there you go. That's how we end the look at some of the front pages this morning. And Lanre Adewole is the Lagos Bureau Chief of Nigerian Tribune. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you for having me.
We will be back in a minute and then delve into what we've got for you today. Don't go away.